Hello, my name is Zachariah Van Sliders with Old Man Gaming, and this is another horrible game review. So let's go right to the favorite part, the disclaimers. I don't get paid for this, so you might hear my kid in the bath in the background, or my laundry go off. I'm not going back and edit it because I don't get any money. Number 2, I think video games are one of the most subjective forms of art. I do not give score-based rating systems. This is an everyman's review, so I'm going to give you kind of an overview of the game, the pros, the cons, and whether or not I'm going to stick with it. And then finally, I do not get a ton of time with these games, so 3 to 10 hours max. So that's the basis of the review. It's kind of more of an everyman's look at the game itself, and whether or not it's right for you. Given the game in question today, and the things I'm going to say about it, I do want to just reiterate again that this is an opinion piece. And I have only spent a few hours with it. This game might get better, and it might be great for people, but I can only share my experience with it. That being said, my game today is Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. This is a Kickstarter indie product, and it is looking to be the spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, I want to say before I get started that Castlevania Symphony of the Night is regarded by myself as the greatest 2D side-scrolling platformer game ever made. Without question. You cannot change my mind on that. So, this has some pretty big shoes to fill. Now, with that said, the game has kind of a convoluted story. It's not about vampires, more demon hunters, but it's got kind of the same principal ideas. There's this castle, it mystically appears, it's giant, you have to explore it. It's very metroid-vania in the way that you can explore certain areas till you get bigger powers to explore other areas, and there's backtracking in that sense. Now, there's also a leveling progression system, even though this is a 2D side-scroller. Much like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, something you'd come to expect. And you also gain magical spells, powers, whatever you want to call them. They're called shards in the game. By killing enemies over and over again, they eventually give you their power, and then you can equip these powers to different slots to use them in battle. Okay, with that said, let's get right into the pros. The pros on this one are it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. The set designs, the levels are very pretty. I will say that also the writing is a little bit better. While a lot of these things back in the day were a little bit nonsensical and sometimes the dialogue was rough, the voice acting is a little bit better in this one, and it's a little bit easier to follow in my opinion, from what I played. Now, I want to give a special disclaimer before I get into the pros. The pros being that I want to get a special disclaimer before I get into the cons. And that being that I only actually played this game for 3 hours. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there saying, well, you've lost all credibility because you only played it for 3 hours. Well, to them I say I should have lost all credibility when I told you this was a horrible review. So, that just for starters. However, I do have some cons with this game. In my opinion, it does not live up in any way, shape, or form to the original. It doesn't even match it. And I was trying to figure out why. There were some real irritations that I had, but I feel like they're small ones, and they weren't the reason that's going to keep me from playing this game. So I'm going to go through those first, and then I'll get to the big one, which, after a lot of reflection, is what I came up with. The first ones are, it doesn't make use of all the buttons, and it should. The B button doesn't do anything, and why isn't that attached to the potions? I can't explain how nice it would be to be able to just use the potions in battle instead of going into my inventory. That was really frustrating. And while I believe there is a way to shortcut your equipment loadouts or whatever, every time I needed to switch a piece of weapon or armor or anything, I had to go into my inventory. And on the fly, in a game like this, it's side-scrolling, so you want things to be on the fly. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you had to go into your inventory every time. And I agree with that, but Castlevania Symphony of the Night was made almost 2 decades ago. Why can't we get the same feel of Castlevania of the Night and actually update it a little bit? That would have been nicer. And as far as the loadout changes and the shortcutting goes, if I have to go to the internet to figure out how to do it, it's not good enough. It's not well enough explained. So, that's my problem there. Those, however, in themselves were not enough to keep me from playing this game. Neither is the fact that I think there is a fast travel system, but I had to run all the way back to my dude to get potions and food and stuff, which there is a crafting system, but it seems far and few in between, which was a little irritating for me. I wish there was a way to just like jump back there, and probably you unlock something later that allows you to do that. I hadn't gotten far enough. The reason I hadn't gotten far enough is I got trapped between a boss and a save. What this means is I had saved it. I had no potions at the save at the time. Then the next room I go into has a boss, and he straight up murders me over and over and over again. And no, I'm not playing it on hard. I'm playing it on normal. Now listen, I'm not the greatest video gamer. I have been playing video games for well over 20 years. I'm by no means terrible. This, from what I can tell, is the absolute first boss you meet. Well, no, the second boss you meet in the game. I'm excluding the tutorial boss bad guy, which I died to a couple of times. It's hard, and I was trying to figure out, like, I play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I still go back to that game, and I do just fine at it. Why is it so hard? And after some reflection, I think the movement in this game is sloppy and choppy. Like, when you go for an attack animation, you can't move until the attack animation is resolved. There's no cutting it off a little bit early. And because of that, there's no smoothness to your movement. Whereas the bad guys seem to be able to time everything exactly perfectly at all times. To make matters worse, the attack boxes for some of these weapons, like the Claymore, wasn't bad because it's just this huge overhand slash, but the attack arc for some of these weapons, it's like, how would you ever even use these in battle? I also noticed a bunch of times in fights that it seemed like I could walk through bad guys and that would be fine. So I was like, okay, it's like Dead Cells. Unless they're attacking, I'm not getting damage. But then it would damage me when they hit me some other times. So there's just this inconsistency in the movement and the feeling of the game. And also, I got stuck here. Like, I literally got stuck here. I couldn't get back to the guy to get more potions. The only way over this was through, and I couldn't beat him. I didn't have any potions left. He just, no matter how good I did against him, he killed me every time. I don't need that kind of challenge. I know there's people out there who love Dark Souls and other really challenging game. Maybe this is made more for them. But for me, one of the best parts of Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the exploration. Don't get me wrong, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is very challenging, but I don't need it to be so challenging that I can't move forward that early in the game. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people in the comments below, get good, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, and that's fair. I mean, it's all opinions. And I thank you for the comment, but this brings me to the stick with it, and I'm not going to stick with this game, and it's really sad because I was really excited for this game, but it's just that it's too choppy and too inconsistent in the combat, in a game where combat is constantly happening. So, yeah, okay, that's my horrible review of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I know that some people out there are going to be really irritated, but I just want you to know that this is going to be going up on my birthday, so keep that in mind before you give me the thumbs down. And again, it's my opinion, but it's an opinion that I don't think any other place has talked about the movement at all being a problem, and I personally think it's a problem. I don't think it's as fluid, as smooth as it's supposed to be. So alright, well, there you go. Kind of a negative review on my birthday. I'm sure everybody's going to be unhappy with that. The only other time I've given a super negative review is for Astroneer, and nobody liked that review. So yeah, so hopefully you guys are a little bit kinder to me. But if not, I totally understand. And as long as you guys keep watching these and keep listening to them, I'll keep making them. So thank you very much for your support, whether you love me or hate me. And I will see you guys next week. Did you enjoy that horrible content? Well, there's more horrible content all over this channel. You can check out our horrible podcasts, or you can check out our other horrible reviews. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, and then we'll let you know when horrible products are ready for you to view. You can also do so at Facebook, Old Man Gaming. And then we can notify you in 2 different places. Fun! Also, click any of the links around you to witness some of that horrible programming right now. I mean, why do anything else? It's YouTube.